Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining me on this new episode of my Oracle Networking and Security series. Now, this is Project 9, and in this particular episode, I will be demonstrating how to do data classification and protection. So, what am I actually building here? I am building something that can protect Oracle Autonomous Database. So, let me back up a bit. An Oracle Autonomous Database registered with Oracle Data Safe for continuous security assessment, sensitive data discovery scan, object storage, retention log, preventing log, deletions or deletion. That is what I want to demonstrate. But before I do that, do this hands-on, I really want to expatiate more, on this capability, security capability, that is meant for one of the let me say oldest technology within Oracle stack, and that is Oracle database. So, what exactly is Oracle Data Safe? What does it do? How does it bring value and stuff like that? So, I want to talk us through some of the capabilities so that because the most important thing is that we should get to know why we use this. Like why do we use it? At what point do we trust this and make sure that we is being used? So, like I said, so data safe, OCI security. Think of them as three different controls. One is continuous security assessment. Is my data? And the question is this, or the question you can ask, and this particular capability will answer for you is my database configuration becoming insecure? Number two question that it can answer for you is sensitive data discovery. Where is my sensitive information? Then the third one is object storage retention lock. Can someone delete or alter my audit evidence? So these are the things that you can enable within this particular capability. Oracle Data Safe currently provides security assessment, data discovery, activity auditing, data masking, user assessment, SQL firewall, and other database security capabilities. I won't be going into individual capabilities, but I just gave you an overview of what you benefit when you enable this in your estate. And that is where from now I will now move into the let me say the demonstration of it. So when you get into your OCI environment and you go into Oracle AI databases, you can see autonomous. Click on autonomous database, or you can say create database. So for me here, I can start with the name is very important because Oracle is very strict with names. So let me just do something here. Uh, Let me give it a display name. I will use same name for both display and so I can just say CIDB and I can use the same thing here. So name must contain only characters. So can remove that. Then I want this to be in security. I want it to be in security compartment. If you have followed me, you know that this is kind of something similar. I mean, what I'm working with, some of the environment I've set up. So I will take a transaction processing database, and here I will just use the always free, and here I can do 26 AI, and I will have to put password here. I will just put my password. My password is I will never tell anybody my password. Okay, one sec. Never tell anybody my password. Cool, right? Think it doesn't confirm. Mm, mm. Okay, there we go. So under the network access, secure access from everywhere. So that is all I will choose. And I don't need to put some contact email. I think if you go to advanced options, uh, encrypt using Oracle manage this, but I can use user manage keys. I have that. I have a vault here in security. I have in my compartment, and the name of the key is master key. And I think all of that things are good. I can go ahead and create this database. So this might take some time. We'll come back to that. Okay, there we go. So it's still provisioning. But while that one is going on, I can I can step into data safe. So how do we get there? Is we still go back to before we get to that place. I can get back to it, one way or the other through other means. But if you look at here, why is the provisioning? You see that data safe is also part of the configuration page of this database after being created. So you can register your database from here And at the same time, you can still, let me see if I can just, if I can do cloud. Maybe I can log into a second page, okay, and have something that I'll be able to work with. If it's not going to ask, okay, good. So another thing is that another way to do this is that you can go back to your, here, go back to identity and security and go to data safe. So from here, you can look for data safe. Okay. Data safe, data safe, data safe. You can see it here. So there's data safe for you. So if you look at it here, you can see that you can actually register autonomous AI database here. You can register Oracle Cloud Database, register database on compute, maybe the one you deploy yourself, register Exadata, some customer, databases, register even on-prem databases, and you can register Amazon RDS, instances from here. Now, what do you benefit? Like I mentioned, it's like your database is constantly being protected by some capability within the Oracle, landscape that are specifically designed for database, like locking down, your audit trace, like making sure that you don't have what I call a sensitive data like PCI DSS data, like HIPAA data and stuff like that. It keeps you scan and keep you abreast of what is going on in terms of security within your database. So that is what it does. So why that can be enabled here, like registered here, you can also see what I was saying here, that it's still provisioning. It might take some time for it to come up, but why that one is going on, I'm trying to also show us, multiple ways through which we can get these enabled. For instance, if I click on register here, let's look at it. We can look at the compartment, but because that is not because it's not enabled yet, then you see that we don't have it much here. So, but I'll come back to that when everything is ready. So now we have it available. The database is up and running right now. Like I said before, now if you look into this here, you will see data safe, and we can go ahead and say register data safe from here, and I can say confirm that. So let's look at what happened. So it's that is let's see, let's give it some time for these to activate totally. And if you look at here, you will see the encryption key I used for this particular for this particular database. So this is a kind of administrative page for your database, and it kind of comes with almost everything that you want to do within your database environment. You see database, okay, it doesn't go on well. Registration or duration operation was not successful for assistance with this. Okay, like for maybe obvious reasons, this is a free version, so maybe that is a thing why that is not done. But all the same, we still have the opportunity to go through and explain, what this does and stuff like that. So okay, let me move this forward. Let me move it forward. So the other option is for us to look at it from the dedicated page for that command center that I showed before now. So if you see here, you will see, look at my compartment, and you see that this is the name of the database we just created. And you can look at the data safe target display name, and you can, yeah, you can see that too. The compartment where we have that, we don't need description here, but let me just give it a shot. You can see the selected database is configured to be securely accessible from everywhere, allowing data safe to establish a secure connection, sorry. A data safe private endpoint is not needed for this setup. So if I go for next, you see it keeps saying that, just for you to know. Then at this point now, let me hit register. You see the error. So uh, it doesn't, that is the error we're facing, because if you look at it here, account is either promotion expired or promotion grace period status. So because I don't have a full, OCI subscription, that is why we're having this issue. But that does not invalidate the process, the use case that I've demonstrated. So I just want you to see, if you are using free version for a while and you have this kind of error, it's not because you didn't do it well, but because that is the capability you can maybe benefit or enjoy in your free version. But that is it. So you can just register here, and that will what? That will solve the problem if you have the right licensing. So moving forward to why that one is done, after registration is done, then you can run what we call review security assessment. Review security assessment. So the the review security assessment, you can stay in the same place like your in your data safe data. I mean, in your data safe for database security. When you click on it, you will see security assessment here. You click on it, and you will see what you get, what you have already here. If there's anything, you will see your risk level. You will see your risk by category, and you will see the top 5 security controls that maybe is violated. And then you can click here and look at your risk summary, your target summary, and maybe group summary here. Okay, so now if you look at you can look at your patch compliance here to see how compliant are you, is your environment in terms of patching cadence, and you can look at your assessment report here. So you can see all risk aggregated, all these details, everything you want to know about your risk landscape as touching your database security. You will find everything here. So you look at some assessment template baselines and history. If you have run some assessment before, or yes, you can see the history information here. And also you can add a schedule. You can schedule for maybe assessment. Maybe you want it daily, or you want it weekly, or monthly. So you can do all those things. So that is what you can do with that. These are the informations. I mean, these are the capabilities you can enable or explore within your data safe security, or data safe security, or database security. Okay. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk about is a sensitive data model. So let me cancel this, and let me go back to that. So I can look at sensitive data model. So you look at data safe, and you look at sensitive data model. Uh, sensitive data model. Sec. So this sensitive data model is something you see under your data discovery. For instance, when you are in the data safe page, you will go to data discovery here, and you see sensitive data model. So I just want to show you. So here you can create model for your sensitive data discovery. For instance, when you say create model, you can give it a name. Make sure you select the right compartment, give it the right description, and then you can select the database you want to select. Select the database. Like I said, we are having the issue with the fact that this licensing issue doesn't give us everything we need. So sometimes we have that, because we know that our database here that we created here is still very much alive here. This is the name of database. And if you look at it, we have where do we have it? What compartment do we have it? You can see the compartment here. Okay. Instance name. So we have it in security compartment. So if we come down here, we should be able to have it under here. Here we can, yes, it's the same thing here. Then we can choose, but because it doesn't, security. So we don't have that. So that is one of the bug that we have here. So we could have been able to see that, but we don't have that. So now, if we're able to do that, we'll be able to select, schemas, maybe all schemas, tables, select sensitive data types, like maybe PCI DSS, HIPAA, or what have you, and some of the discovery options that we want to discover. So this is what actually happened, that when you are setting up a model for your data discovery, for your sensitive data discovery. So unfortunately, we couldn't do that, but I just want to walk you through what could have happened. What those places are is that on that schema, you want to monitor all schemas. And when it comes to system data type, you want to monitor something like PII data, financial, credentials, healthcare, business restricted data. And you want to create that model, because against that model, that is what that analysis will be running against. Like when you create a model, that model becomes like a baseline benchmark for you to say, okay, I am seeing this, I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that, based on your use case, based on your use case. So The last but not the least is configure storage retention. So now I will go from here and go to storage. Okay, then I will do, let me see, buckets here. So I have an existing bucket here. So here we are. So when you are within your bucket, the bucket that is actually housing or keeping your log. So I have one here that I've created before. I call it a audit log. So you come down where you get your storage and you get your bucket, you get to the one you come down here under the bucket information. Then you go to retention rule. So you create retention rule. You can give it any name. Time bound. I want it to be time bound. Now retention time amount. If you want this to be kept for maybe a year, that will be 365 days. You know, if you want it to be kept for maybe just maybe a year, 1 year, for instance, 1 year here, you can do that too. But if you enable the lock, that shows that you can see the one here. When a rule is logged, only an increase in the retention duration is allowed, and the rule can only be deleted by deleting the bucket. So a bucket must be empty to be deleted. So now, because I might want to delete this any moment from now, so I might not do that. Maybe I just want to do that for like 1 day. But I'm only explaining that when you create retention duration, note all these important details, you know, because they will help you to understand how it will eventually behave. So, but here, depending on your retention policy within your organization, maybe it's 360 5 days, maybe a year, 2 years, or what have you. For instance, if it's 2 years, it's going to be two here, and it's going to be years here. If it's 10 years, maybe you want to, give it 10 years. There's some regulatory, industries where those things have to be there for 10 years or what have you. But that being said, it's for the purpose of this demonstration, I will just do 1 day and enable that, and I will say create rule. Okay, so specify schedule log time at least 14 days from now. You can see now. So that shows that if you want to schedule, for instance, if you don't want to schedule, you just want it to go, you can say create, retention rule. Cannot create retention rules since the bucket has a version enabled. You can see another error there. So if you want to create this retention rule, that shows that version must not be enabled on that particular bucket. So for instance, let me go back to buckets, and let me create a new bucket, and I can call it bucket audit test. And let's look at the namespace. Let's do that. Default storage, standard, enable auto tiering, enable versioning, whatever it is, encrypt Oracle using Oracle managed file, yeah, we can do that. And let me just say login. Maybe we should just leave that. But let's just create something that is very easy, So now bucket audit test is there. Then I can just go there, and now that I'm here, then what do I need to do? I want to enable that we just did, right? So I want to enable retention rule. So for the retention rule, you see here, you go to policies like I did it last time, and you come under down there, you see retention rules, you create. So let's look at this one, whether it's going to be able to 1 day. Okay, 1 day is good, and let's try to create. There we go. So you can see uh, retention rule here is created here. So because this new bucket is not, there is no enablement of version control on it, then I was able to create a retention rule on it. So that is how to get this done. So that bring us to the end of this particular episode. That is that is project 9. Project 9 is data classification and protection. How do you achieve that in an OCI environment? Is by registering your autonomous database or some other database, with Oracle Data Safe for continuous security assessment. And what I've done is to create that database in this demonstration. I registered the database with Data Safe, which was unsuccessful. We saw the errors, we learned from it. Now, why? Is because of my licensing, free edition that I'm using. At least that is my understanding. Okay. Then I try to demonstrate how you can run and review your security assessment. Now, what you want to achieve with that is for you to see what are the security risk points your assessment was able to discover. then when you see that, you'll be able to see those risk points. And from there, you can do data discovery. What are those sensitive data that are within my database or within my tables and schemas or what have you? So you create a model based on what you want to discover in your data discovery. Then you run the assessment will run against that. I demonstrated how to create a data discovery model. It failed as well. Then the other thing is to configure object storage. Now, object storage is to keep your retention lock on the audit bucket. So the bucket you are using for your audit tray, you can enable retention lock on them, and I demonstrated that was successful. And with that, I come to the end of project 9. If you have any question or you have any reason to contact me, you will have the information in comment section and some of the LinkedIn and what have you. But this, like I said, this is not a perfect. I'm not creating this for a content or like, no, I'm creating it for people that really do this job and they want to see the challenges, the all sides stories, so that we can learn together. So with that, I come to the end of project 9, and I have only one project to go to complete this project 10. This 10 projects within this Oracle networking and security domain. Thank you once again. See you in the next one.